Hey everyone, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing extremely well. Today is the day 12th or 13th, I don't remember actually, of my hashtag 30 days of talking to camera challenge. And sorry for being inconsistent. I was not able to upload videos for the past 2 days because I was not well. I was also traveling and my stomach was hurting, and I was not at all at the condition of recording the video. I was not able to even speak for 2 minutes or more than that. So today I am feeling a little bit better, so I decided to record a video. And as I had promised, today I will be talking about some problem based on searching. So let's start. So let's talk about our first problem. So our first problem says is we have to find a repeated element in the array. We have to find the first repeated element in the array. So what's the problem? We have given an array of n elements, and the array of array elements is sorted. So we have to find the first element which is repeated. So what we could do is we could simply apply a binary search. Sorry, we could simply apply a linear search algorithm in this question. What we will do is we will iterate a first loop through the array, and we will compare the second loop with each element. Suppose there is 1, so we will compare that. Okay, if the next number to 1 is equal to 1, no, then move forward, then compare, then move forward, then compare, then move forward, then compare. So in this way, suppose we can't find a 1, then 2, compare all the elements, then 3, then compare all the elements. It doesn't matter if it is 1, 2 or 3, it could be any number like 1, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I am just giving an example, so I hope this is clear. So doing this process, this is a brute force approach, and doing this process takes big of n square time, because we are using two loops, two nested loops. We are using one loop for the array and the second loop for comparing each element of the array with the first element. So this is taking big of n square time, but the time is a lot. We have to reduce its time complexity. So what we could do is, to reduce the time complexity, we could use hash table. We could track the number of times a particular element came in the array. First we could just populate the hash table with all the elements in the array, and then we could see that if any element is coming one more time, like suppose there are 5 elements, namely 1, 3, 4, 2 and 5. So first we would put the first element in and put it in the hash table, and suppose 3 is repeating one more time after 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after 3. So I will put 1 in the hash table, and then 1 in as a key in the hash table, and I will keep its value as 0. Then I will keep 2 as the key in hash table, and I will keep its value as 0. And likewise I will first check if the elements is already present as the key in hash table, and if it is present, then I will simply mark its value as 0, and if I found that the key is repeating, then simply I will increment its value, and the key for which the value is incremented, I will return that key. So that means that is the first element that is repeated. So in this way we can find the first repeated element using hash table. So what would be the time complexity of this? The time complexity of this would be big of n. Inserting in hash table takes constant time, but traversing through whole array once and then inserting it in the hash table takes big of n time, and the space complexity is also big of n. In the previous approach, the space complexity was constant because we were not using any extra space, but in this case the space complexity is big of n because we are using an extra space for creating of hash table. So I hope this problem was clear. Let's move on to our next problem. Says is we have to print the duplicates elements in the list. Suppose we are given an array of elements like the previous question, and we have some numbers like 1, 3, 5, 4, 2, 8, 8, 2, 3, likewise, and the number is repeated. So what we have to do is we have to print all the duplicate elements in the array, or else we would print the first duplicate occurring in the array. So how we could do that? So in this problem we can do again two approaches. We could use one brute force approach using two loops, which is basically the linear search algorithm. We know that this would take a lot of time. This would take big of n square time. So what we could do is, instead using the linear search algorithm, we could simply do the better approach, that is we could simply sort the array once. So we know that sorting takes big of n time. Suppose there are 2 ones in the entire array. So what we could do is we could sort the array. So after sorting the array, what would happen is that all the ones will come at the first, and all the twos will come after that, and all the threes will come after that, all the fours will come after that. Suppose there is only 1 1 1 2 and 2 3s. So 1 2 3 3 4 5. So likewise it would happen, and then I will traverse through the array, and if I find that any element is coming 2 times, then I would simply print the element. So what would be the time complexity of this approach? The time complexity of this approach will be big of n, because we are traversing the whole big of n log n, because you know that sorting takes n log n time and traversing takes big of n time, and n log n is greater than big of n, so we would take the time complexity of this would be big of n. Now let's come to one more problem. So this is one of my favorite problems. So what this problem says is, we have to find the missing number in an array. Suppose we have given an array of integers 1 to n, and we have to find the missing element in that array. So what we could do is, first would be the brute force approach. So what the problem says is, we have to find the missing number in an array. So what is the problem? We have given a list of n minus 1 elements which are in the range from 1 to n. There are no duplicates in the array. One of the integers is missing, so we have to find the missing element. So what we could do is, first the brute force approach would be there. In the brute force approach, we would run the for loop 2 times, that is a nested for loops, and in the same way that we have seen the previous examples, we can find the missing values in the array, and the time complexity will be big of n square. So now let's talk about some more optimized solutions, some better and better solution. So what would be the more optimized way of solving this problem? We could sort all the elements in ascending order, and then we would traverse each element, traverse the whole array, and see if there is any element that missing in the array, and then we would find that okay, this element is missing. So what would be the time complexity of this algorithm? Sorting itself takes n log n time, and traversing takes n time. So the time complexity of this algorithm will be big of n log n, and the space complexity will be big of 1. Now come to our third solution. The third solution is using a hash table. Yes, you can guess how we are going to use the hash table in this question. Likewise, we would use the hash table in the similar way like we have been using in the previous examples. We can keep track of the element that we have already seen, and we can find the missing element in just one scan. Hash table insertion and deletion takes constant time, that is big of 1 time, and traversing through whole array and keeping that in the hash table takes big of n time. So we know that this solution would take big of n time, because n is greater than big of 1, and the space complexity will be big of n, because we have to create one more we have to create a hash table for storing all the elements. Now let's talk about its best solution. So its best approach is taking XOR of all the elements of the array, and in that way we could find the missing element. So XOR approach to find the sum of n numbers from 1 to n, XOR the value stored in array, and we have the missing numbers. Like if you already know what XOR does. If the input is same, that is 0 0, so the output will be 0, and if the input is 0 1, the output will be 1. If it is 1 0, the output will be 1, and if it is 1 1, then the output would be 1. Sorry, I got little bit distracted while speaking in camera. I actually remember all these values, but while speaking in camera I get little bit distracted, so please forgive me if I spelled it wrong. I try to correct me. I don't think I am going to I'll be going to trim those parts where I have mumbled and spoke wrong things, which I have corrected myself later. And if I trimmed, is good for you, but if I don't trim, if I am not able to trim, please forgive me. So that's all for this video today. I am not able to speak more because my throat is hurting and my stomach is paining. So I think I would take almost 2 or 3 more videos to discuss more problems of this searching, because there are a lot of good problems in this searching algorithm. So let's do till this for today. I have discussed 3 problems, and I hope all the concepts were clear. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Good night.